Hi everybody, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and I am here with number 2 in my new series of one-page wonders, my favorite one-page wonders. So let me show you what we're going to make today. So I've got a couple made. This one, I thought it would be fun to just put a ribbon on it, but it's obviously not necessary. It stays closed pretty well. This one is all decorated and has little tabs and pockets and things already put in it. So this is made with one sheet of approximately 8.5 by 11 paper. So you'll see what I mean by that, but you don't need a 12 by 12 sheet for this one. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. And with the one sheet, you make the little folder and the pockets. The little things that I've put in here were made with other pieces of paper. So, and then I decorated it up with some additional little pieces that I have. So this one is just with the paper. I haven't decorated it yet. I haven't added anything in the pockets, but I got this idea from Camellia Craft Designs, and I really liked, what she was saying, which was, you could even do these like a mass make. They come together pretty quick, and then have them in your stash for when you need them for journals, and then you could decorate them more. The paper I used for these two are from a paper kit by Christy at Everlasting Journals, and I will make sure I link that for you guys because it's really pretty paper. But again, just to give you an idea of when you used some really pretty collaged, this one is 2 pattern papers, you really don't even need a lot of decorating. So super fun. And then I just had some other sheets from that kit, and then other papers that I had not used yet that I thought we could make some with. But I also thought it would be fun to try to make one out of some book page, and then it could be decorated up. So let's try that first. Let me see what size this paper is, and we may trim it down or tear it down some. This piece is 10 3/4 by 8. So let's just leave it like this and see what happens. And we're going to do the same kind of concept, but basically with your rectangular piece of paper, you want to just fold it in half. And then it's kind of deciding how tall to make your folio, but you need your offcut to also be big enough to make your pockets. So I'm not really measuring too much, but that kind of is important so that you have enough to make those pockets. If using one piece of paper isn't super important to you, then of course you have a little more luxury in what size you make yours. If you wanted to make a taller one and then use different papers to make the pockets, that would work too. Let's see how tall these ended up being. They're like right at 5 inches. And this paper is a little bit different in size. But anyway, we'll see how it works. Oh gosh, almost cut through it again. Okay, so you just fold your paper in half, and then this one I trimmed off to be 5 inches. I'm pretty sure she made some that were 5.5 inches tall, and it worked with an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Goodness. Okay, so once you have it, open it up, and I'm gonna ink here, so hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing, just to make it a little bit easier, hopefully. Okay, yeah, you can see that. So we're gonna just fold both sides in, and we're gonna not go all the way to that crease line because, we want it to fold up nicely, and if you go too close, it won't do that. Okay, so there you go. Those 2 folds are in. Now, this one is going to be our first pocket. You could certainly do it on this side and make this one the pocket, and then this have your other pockets. It's up to you, but we'll just stay this way for now. The first thing I'm going to do is make a little thumb notch so I know where that pocket is, and I'll ink it. And like I said, this one will be pretty neutral, but we'll be able to enjoy making some, decorating it up, making it look really cute. All right, so this is going to be our first pocket. We're just going to add glue along these 2 sides, okay? Now, you don't have to have the 2-sided paper like I mentioned. And one of the things I also liked is if you want, you know, you can kind of ink where that thumb notch is going to be and kind of grunge it up a little. On these, I did that so you didn't really see that bright white paper in there. All right. I'm trying to get that even. And then on this side, this is where you're going to use the offcut to make all of your pockets. And I found it easier to cut my pockets, or I'm going to tear the paper in this case, for the center panel, because I'm going to stack 2 pockets on here, to go ahead and cut that piece first. So again, to help us see what we're doing, just ink that up. There we go. And I am going to make 2 pockets. I'm going to get this about the right height. And again, this was, we'll see how I ended up doing mine. But yeah, this one's right at 5 inches. So I cut this piece, tore this piece of paper a little bit less than 5 inches. Now I can tear it in half to make 2 pockets. I can make one pocket bigger than the other. It doesn't really matter. I am going to just kind of eyeball it where the text break was, just for fun, right? All right, and then decide how I want the pockets in here. These are a little bit wide, and we have 2 options. One is I can tear it so that it fits right in there really well. The other thing I can do is I can fold it over, and then probably went a little too far there with that fold. But by doing this, we're actually giving ourselves a little more real estate in our pocket. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So let me go ahead and ink. And I want a thumb notch. And I want these to match. So I'm going to line them up, eyeball about the center. And now I have a little thumb notch in both. And I think I want this to be the top pocket, and I'm going to have this one that has more white space be the bottom pocket. And let me fold this one over too. Again, I'm just kind of eyeballing. Yeah, they're about the same. And I'm sure I'm going to end up decorating this pocket with something, so I'm not too worried about it, but I just thought leaving the white part down there would be good. Oh, let me get these scraps off of my workspace. I probably am getting close to needing a new mat. Oh gosh, it gets well used and well loved. There we go. All right, because how I folded it, this one is a touch wider than this one. Let's see. Would it look better this way? I don't know. I still like it better here. I could move that fold over, but I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add glue to this side of the fold, this side and this side. And now it'll just give us a little more room. And of course, if we had a fold on both sides, we'd have even more room, right? It's not necessary, you know, and if you want a really snug pocket, certainly don't do this part. You know, just tear that off or cut that off. But once that dries, you'll see what I mean, that we have a little bit more space for our little bits and pieces that we're going to put in there. All right, and this book page that I chose is from a flower book that I have, and it isn't very fragile paper. I mean, it's nice and sturdy paper, and that's important. All right, and now we're just going to make a tall pocket. Of course, I guess we could make any size we want. There is a little bit of a fold here, so I'm going to tear that off just so it's not part of my pocket. And then again, use the folio itself to help me see how tall I need this piece of paper to be. And again, it's about, the folio itself is about 5 inches, so I'm probably tearing these 4 3/4 or close to it. Yeah. All right. And again, just to give me a little more space in my pocket, I'm going to fold it over. and it's going to nestle right in there. Now, if you're worried about that showing or getting hung up on the pocket, you could also get fancy if you want to. It's not necessary, but and miter those corners if you want to. And I'm just using my walnut stain distress ink. And this one, I am going to do the thumb notch. Actually, I'm going to turn it this way. And we're going to put that extra right there because I'm going to do a thumb notch here. And I think it'll work better. So I'm going to cut some of it out. I won't be cutting through that layer too. All right, I'm going to eyeball what I think is about the center. But the notch could have been on either. It didn't have to be centered. Okay, see how quick this comes together? I love these, and I love anything. Again, I love one-page wonders, which is what we're doing, or one-sheet wonders, whatever you want to call it. But I really love easy projects. And again, ones that if you want to, if you're in the mood to build your stash, you could just go through a bunch of extra paper you have out, book pages, whatever, and have these. Okay, so let's see how this one folds up. Fits together nicely. It definitely, in my opinion, needs to be jazzed up with some decorations, but that's it right there. That is super easy. So let's set that one to the side. And I'm going to do one really quick with this piece of paper, and this is from Japan Blossoms. It's 10 3/4 by almost 8. It had a white strip around it, again printed on 8.5 by 11. This is by Katya at Paperamia, and I just had an extra. I have several extra pieces printed from one of her kits, the Japan Blossoms. So we'll make one with this one, and I think it'll be cute. And again, this paper is, of course, much more directional, but I don't think it matters. I think it's okay if they're a little, some of them are upside down or whatever. I was trying to decide if I wanted to chop off from one side versus the other. And my dogs are back to barking. Okay, I may have cut that one a little bit shorter. I did. So this one is probably, you could tell already. This one's 4 3/4 inches tall, not 5. So we'll have extra of the paper here that we're making our little pockets with. No idea what Harry and Matt are choosing to bark about. Again, just folding it in. And you do want to be as neat as you can. I don't know if you guys have dogs, but Harry and Matt love to guard the whole neighborhood. And they do a good job guarding the neighborhood. And they like to remind me regularly that they're saving me from all kinds of villains and dangerous things when I fuss at them for barking a little too much. Okay, but it's Sunday. I'm filming this on a Sunday, and that means even though it's kind of warm outside here in Virginia, neighbors are out, kids are riding their bikes, people are going for walks, dogs are out. You know, a lot is happening on our little street here, and they like to make sure we know about it. All right, this one's going to be cute too. Okay, so let's do this one the other orientation. Let's make this the pocket. So where did I put that? Punch, it's right here. We'll make this the tall pocket. Put a little ink there to kind of just mask the little bit of white. Not that it matters. Okay, and again, glue on 3 sides. You know, I told you guys I was going to show you how these pockets aren't quite as snug, and then I didn't do it. And I'm sure they are glued down enough now. So just by folding it, you just get a little more space. The pocket itself is just not quite as snug, if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys can see that. See how the pocket just has a little more space? This one, the fold's on the bottom, so I don't know that it really made that much of a difference. Not on the, it's on the bottom of the pocket, okay? So here it's on the side. These, instead of being on the bottom of the pocket, it's on one of the sides. And so you just have a little more space for whatever you're gonna put in there. Things will slide in just a little bit easier. That's all I meant by that. This one was folded over from the edge of the paper, so you can see you go all the way to the end of that pocket, where here, this side is where I put the glue, and the pocket kind of ends there. So it just gives you that extra. This one, you can see where the glue ends, or the glue is for to hold the pocket down. This one, because we have that flap, you can go all the way to the edge of the pocket. Okay? That's what I meant. So if you ever want to make sure you have a little more wiggle room in your pockets, you may want to try that. All right, all right. Now for this one, we're going to use the offcut. And this is where I'm going to decide. Like I said, we have a little bit extra because I cut this one short. So I'm just going to make a mark about where I want to cut it. Again, I'm trying to like not measure as much. I don't know if that's good or bad. It looks like, again, we're going to be going maybe, I don't know, not quite 4 3/4. Yeah, right there. And then we'll do the same thing. Instead of trimming the pocket, we will fold it over. So let's remind ourselves where the creases, make it easier for everyone to see. And I want to see as much of that piece of bamboo in the house here. So I kind of used my fingernail. I don't know if I did it enough. Let's see. Where is my bone folder? There it is. I'm just kind of making myself a mark. And then I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to use my grid lines right here, so that I have my paper as straight as I can. I'm just gonna score that. The book page was a little bit easier to fold over and get it correct. But there we go. Cute, right? It's going to be super cute. Oh, let me make a notch. Okay, this one, because of the images, I'm going to put the little thumb notch, kind of help us know there's a little pocket here up at the top. Again, just kind of taking my cue from where I want to chop my image a little bit. I think I need a new sponge dauber. What do you guys think? I have some in the drawer. I just have not, pulled one out yet. Okay. All right. So I'm going to just add the glue again to the 3 sides. So I'm making multiples, and I hope you can see, even with me talking, how quick these can come together. And if you make one, let me know. I'd love to see what you make. Again, it's important. Don't cross over your line there. Come kind of close, but give yourself plenty of room for that fold. Nice. That looks so cute. I will say I'm not as jazzed about the images that ended up on the front. I kind of like this one a little better than the sideways bamboo. So I'll probably close this one like this, but I'll probably collage or put a quote or put something here on the front of this one when I get around to that. All right, and now I just want to use this last little piece to make myself a couple more pockets. So again, I am just going to use the folio to help me see where I want to do this. I'm just going to tear it. I sometimes like having those kind of edges. Picks up my distress ink really well and kind of lends itself again to the look that I like. All right, let me look at the images and decide again on the size of the pockets. I think I'm going to do close to the middle. Just eyeballing. All right. before I start inking, because I'm going to fold over some edges, let's get our thumb notches in. Sounds like someone has arrived at my house. I don't know who's here. It could be my husband or one of my 3 daughters, because they're all around today. It could be Steven, one of our sons. It sounds like a male voice. And my son Daniel, you know, is back in town. He usually lets me know because he lives almost 30 minutes away if he's going to be stopping by. But it definitely sounds like someone's downstairs. But the dogs are happy. They've stopped barking. And so it's someone they know and that is friendly. So I'm not going to worry about it. Everyone knows I am making a video right now. Okay. So these, because of the image, I definitely want this to be the bottom pocket, not to be the top, because it kind of stays together. I again like the house, so I'm going to fold over on this side of my pocket, and I'm going to use this to just help me line up a little bit. There we go. And let's see if that fits in there good. It does. Now, I punched my notch too soon, so I didn't center it with the fold over, so now my notch is off to the right hand side. I'm okay with that. I probably wouldn't have planned to do that, but it doesn't bother me enough to get out another piece of paper and do something different. So, not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna let it be there. And you don't notice the thumb notch. You don't have the same issue with this one. You don't notice the thumb notch as much when you have that little bit of ink under there too. All right, I'm gonna give it a little bit scored to help me fold over the cardstock. Okay. All right, I'm gonna glue this one down first, but let me see where I need a little bit of ink. All right. And then this one's going to be done. And really now, all that's left on these is to do some decorating, add some little bits and pieces. I don't know why I didn't finish adding the glue. And again, it might be fun just to have a pile of these. And then when you're ready, decorate them depending on what journal or what you're using them for. It would be a nice little... to add into a gift for someone. It'll easily, because it's thin, you know, fit inside an envelope or a card. It could be a happy mail, any of those things. The possibilities are endless. And I don't know how long I've been recording, but I think I am going to, this is cute. I like it. I'm going to take the book page one and spend just a minute showing you guys how sweet and cute this one can end up looking using some of my scraps. I'm going to turn around and grab some scraps out of my bin and see what my hand lands on and what we can come up with. These are probably scraps from projects you have seen before. Ooh, this one isn't even a scrap. This is a page from one of my paper kits. Should we use it? Why don't we? Why don't we make ourselves something? I don't really have anything else with it right now, but why not? All right, so I'm going to just cover it a little bit first. And this is also going to kind of build it up. And that was not straight, but that's okay. Build up the thickness, make it nice and sturdy. So let's add a little ink. And again, I'm not going to do a ton to it, but it'll be fun. Which way do we like those flowers to go? I think I like them that way. And I haven't really inked much just in general around the edges of the book page either. All right, so if you just grab some papers, And depending on the book page you use, like if there was a whole lot of text on this one, I might not do a whole panel like this, but I just felt like it needed something else. All right. And then let's do a skinny strip, like maybe one that's like an inch wide. I'm going to use my ruler to just help me decide on the width. And let's put this here, do a hand tear, and I'm going to turn this into a tuck spot on this panel, because now instead of having the 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets, this one will also have a tuck spot here, which will be cute and fun. So just add glue to 3 sides, and it decorates the page just a little. And now we have a fun tuck spot. See, we could add, we could make this into a pocket. Why don't I do that? I'm gonna cut it just kind of in a little wavy pattern. And this is one of those, as you go, you're like, oh wait, I could also do this and I could do that. And then the ideas, you know, all the ideas. And like I said, I love a good one-page wonder, and y'all also know how I love a little ephemera folder. So this is like the perfect set of videos for me to be making for you guys, because I'm just happy all the time. Okay, now what do we want to do here? How about, this is really the only piece that came out of this pattern, or from these sets, so I don't know if I have anything that really coordinates with it. And I don't want everything to look exactly the same, but I do like this color of book page. I'm not sure which book it's from, but it was in the scrap bin. Hadn't gotten used. It's a little more fragile. My glue was actually even just kind of the tip, the metal tip poking through. But we'll get it on there and it'll be okay. All right, here I'm gonna just, whoa, I'll add a little piece of this to bring the color in. Look at that. And I'm not really making anything to go into the pockets yet, but this is coming together. I like it. And let me think for just a minute. I have sitting here, because I was working on these, some of these little like tickets and little doodads like this. So maybe we'll cut 1 or 2. So this is like a vintage, like ephemera, just paper kit. I believe these are Pink Monarch prints. I'm just using all my stuff that I have out left over, which is a great project too. But what's nice about this is you can't really have enough of that kind of stuff, in my opinion, when you're junk journaling. And so I really like using that to decorate with too. Whoa. And if you need, you know, like a basic kit like that, and then you can just, you know, keep using it to make sure, you know, you have just little bits and pieces for a variety of projects. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing with these, but I'm going to put that, both of them on here, and put that circle. Give it some interest. I like that. And it would be fun to add a word to this one too. I don't want to close up my pocket, so I'm trying to be careful. All right. And then let's see if there's anything. See how cute this is going to be when you start putting things in it. I don't know. I'm not going to do anything to that one just yet. I'm going to wait and see how it all looks as things come out. Okay? So that gives you an idea, again, there's that little tuck spot, of how you can use book page. You could use scrapbook paper and just cut it to whatever rectangular size you want to use. You could use digital papers, really anything you want. Okay, I definitely, because this one's kind of again, going to be tucked into something, will want to also cover the back. But I'll do that off camera. All right, I hope you guys like this one-page wonder, and it gives you some ideas of some different projects that you can make. Okay, thanks for joining me. Have a great day until next time. See ya.